You know, every family has a story. It's kind of like a tapestry, right? Woven from all these different threads: love, loss, big dreams, and just plain grit. Well, today, we're unrolling a really special one, the incredible story of the Allery family, stitched together over 300 years, with the City of London changing all around them.
And that right there, that's the whole story in a nutshell. It's not just some clever saying. For the Allerys, it was their actual reality. Their journey, their fortune, their entire identity was built, quite literally, with a needle and thread. So, let's get into it.
So what we're really talking about here is this epic journey. It's not just a move across the country, it's a leap across time. The Allerys went from the quiet, green fields of Devon to the non-stop hustle of London. It's a classic story, really, leaving an old world behind to build something brand new in the heart of an empire.
All right, so let's start at the very beginning, with that first stitch that really set the whole thing in motion. Because this move, it was way more than just a change of address. It was like stepping into a completely different universe.
I mean, just try to wrap your head around this contrast. In the 1790s, Devon was this peaceful, rural place. Your life was dictated by the seasons, by the farm, by the local community. Now picture London in the 1840s. It's the roaring, smoking engine of the Industrial Revolution, a city just exploding with factories, with people, with this relentless energy. The Allerys didn't just move to a new town, they basically catapulted themselves into the future.
And here's something you might not expect. Before they were famous for tailoring, the family's roots were by the sea. The first Aldering we know about, Samuel, was a chandler, and in a busy port town like Dartmouth, that was a super important job. He was the guy who sold supplies to the ships: oil, soap, paint, you name it. That was their foundation, all tied up in the maritime world of Devon.
And this is the moment everything changes. It's Samuel's son, William, who decides to break the mold. He's the one who packs up and heads for London. And in doing so, he doesn't just change their address, he changes their whole profession. He didn't just want to live in London, he wanted to make his mark, becoming a master tailor, and setting the stage for everything that came next.
Because from that one master tailor, a whole dynasty starts to grow. This next chapter is really the golden age for the family, a time of huge success, all thanks to William's son, a man who truly perfected the family craft, Samuel John Allery.
Okay, check out this number. When Samuel John Allery died in 1922, this is what he left behind. Now, to us, nearly £10,000 might not sound like a crazy fortune, but in 1922, whoa, that was a ton of money. It was proof of a lifetime of hard work and skill, and it really was the absolute peak of the family's success. We're talking dynasty-level wealth here.
But a dynasty isn't just about cash, is it? It's about people. And Samuel John didn't just build a business, he built a massive family. I mean, look at this, 2 wives and a grand total of 13 children. He created this huge, sprawling family tree that really cemented the Allerys' place in London society.
But every great story has its twists, right? Those tangled, dramatic knots that make things interesting. And believe me, the Allery family had a big one. So now we're going to shift gears a bit, from a story of success to one of obsession and a bit of a mystery.
So, while Samuel John was methodically building the family fortune stitch by stitch, his brother, William Adrian, was chasing a completely different dream. He got totally consumed by this old family legend, a story that said the Allerys were the rightful heirs to the huge and incredibly valuable Angel estate. And this wasn't just some hobby, it became the quest of his entire life. And his quest played out like something from a movie. First, he dug through old family stories. Then, he went all the way back to Dartmouth, where he claimed he found the missing link in an old church, a marriage certificate from 1711. But this is where it gets absolutely wild. Convinced he was right, he went to Brixton and just took over 2 houses on the estate. He physically seized them. And of course, that led to the inevitable final step, a massive court battle.
And yeah, you better believe this made the news. This quote from the paper just captures the whole spectacle. Can you imagine reading about an old-age pensioner just marching in and taking over houses to claim a multi-million-pound estate? It's just an incredible picture of someone who absolutely refused to give up.
But, and this is the really tragic end to his story, his claim was never proven. After a lifetime of searching and this one last bold public fight, William Adrian died just a year later. And the heartbreaking irony? He didn't die a rich landowner. He died in a poor law infirmary, a public hospital for the poor. Just a brutal contrast between his massive dreams and his very humble end.
So, after all that success and all that drama, where does that leave us? What's the final pattern of the Allery Tapestry look like? Let's bring this story home and see what became of their incredible legacy.
And this is maybe the coolest part of the whole thing. The reason we even know all these details is because a direct descendant put it all together, and she uses modern tools to connect with her past. Think about that. With Google Maps, she can virtually walk the same streets in Dartmouth her ancestors did and find the exact spot where that old Chandler shop used to be. It just shows you that history isn't always stuck in old books. Sometimes it's right at your fingertips.
So, what is the Allery legacy today? Well, the tailoring trade that defined them for so long eventually ended, but the family itself, it just exploded. It's now a global family tree with more than 2,000 members. And maybe most importantly, their incredible story, with all its ups and downs and strange detours, has been saved, making sure that the amazing pattern they wove will never be forgotten.
And that kind of brings it all back home, doesn't it? The Allery story is a great reminder that every one of our families has its own tapestry, filled with hard workers, big dreamers, and maybe a few frayed threads of its own. It really makes you wonder, right? What stories are waiting in your family's past, just waiting to be stitched together?